Now hitting on the performance on both, I did a speed test between them too, so you can kind of look at that while I'm speaking about the specs and everything. The iPhone 11 has that Apple A13 Bionic chip, hex-core CPU with 4 gigs of RAM on each model, where the OnePlus Nord has that Qualcomm Snapdragon 765G chipset, an octa-core CPU, Adreno 620 GPU, and 6 gigs of RAM on that base model, 8 gigs of RAM on that mid-tier model, and then 12 gigs of RAM on that top-tier model. So again, specs mean one thing on paper, but as I was going and opening up these apps and everything, I was kind of seeing that the OnePlus Nord and iPhone 11 again were more or less the same, but maybe the OnePlus Nord may have been a little bit of the faster one. It may have just, gotten the app open just a split second before the iPhone 11. There were some cases where the iPhone 11 was noticeably behind the OnePlus Nord, but I still think the iPhone 11 may have, beaten it a couple of times. I'm not really too sure why the iPhone 11 was a little bit slow or even noticeably more slower than the OnePlus Nord. My iPhone 11, I bought it brand new. I've updated it. It's all good. But there were some cases where the iPhone 11 was slugging behind, but I still don't think the iPhone 11 is a bad performing device by any means, and I have to play devil's advocate. The iPhone 11 is, I think, a smoother device than a lot of Android manufacturers. I compared the Note 20 to the iPhone 11, the OnePlus 8 to the iPhone 11, and even though the OnePlus Nord has that 90Hz refresh rate, I still think the iPhone 11 may have the smoother experience overall. And the things with the iPhone 11, one thing I really like about it is the gestures. They're so much more intuitive than on Android, even though they share a lot of the same capabilities and everything. With something like on the Android device, it just seems to me like whenever you click open an app or whenever you swipe out to go to the home screen, it just seems like there's a lot more lagging going on with the Android side of things. It's not even just a OnePlus problem, but with the Android side of things, it just always seems to be like a step slower than on the iOS side of things. So I think when it comes down to the speed and performance, maybe the OnePlus Nord is the better one, especially if you get that top tier model. I have the base model of it with 6 gigs of RAM, and I think this one is a great performing device too, but if you get that top tier model, I think it will be the overall better performing device than the iPhone 11, but I still think the iPhone 11 is a great performing device too. It's really, really good, and it's definitely smoother than OnePlus Nord, but regardless, to each their own. I think the OnePlus Nord may be the faster one at the end of the day, so when it comes down to that, that pretty much covers it up. Now hitting on the cameras on both, the iPhone 11